Today, we're talking about Wounded Warrior Project Soldier Ride 250, presented by NFL Salute to Service. The ride highlights veteran courage, resilience, and a 1,000-mile cycling journey marking the country's anniversary. After serving 3 deployments as an Army medic, Kelly Elmlinger became a patient herself when cancer led to the amputation of her left leg. Rather than stepping away from the discipline and training that shaped her life, she began competing with a prosthetic and later represented Team USA in a Paralympic triathlon. And Kelly is one of 80 veterans participating in the Wounded Warrior Project Soldier Ride 250. Some participants will ride traditional bikes, while others will use hand cycles or recumbent bikes designed to accommodate their injuries. Joining us today is Kelly Elmlinger. Great to see you, Kelly, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Also joining us today is someone extremely involved in this project, Meghan Wagner. Meghan is the Director of Physical Health and Wellness for Wounded Warrior Project. She's overseeing programs that help veterans increase their physical activity and enhance their nutrition, mobility, and sleep. And Meghan is a Gold Star daughter from a military family and is married to an Army combat veteran who is a registered WWP warrior. Thanks for being here, Meghan.
Thank you for having me.
Kelly, this ride is tied to America's 250th. So, what does participating in an event like this, marking our nation's 250 years of independence and proud military service, really mean to you as a veteran?
Participating in this year's Soldier Ride is incredibly special, and it's a time for me to reflect. I am able to reflect on my military service, and I think more specifically, reflect on the men and women who didn't make it home. As a combat medic, that's something that I struggled with significantly, and that's how Wounded Warrior Project kind of helped with some acceptance of not being able to save everyone and bring everyone home. So on this ride, I'll be doing a lot of reflection, especially on those men and women that did make the ultimate sacrifice. And additionally, this is about ability, and as an amputee, I think sometimes, we forget that there is still a lot of ability in veterans and wounded warriors in general. So to be able to be on this ride and have all sorts of bikes to accommodate the injuries and people's abilities, it's awesome to be able to kind of showcase those things and be a part of the soldier ride where others can see what our actual ability is.
It's going to take great stamina to do this ride in general, no matter what your situation is. How has Wounded Warrior Project helped you?
Wounded Warrior Project has definitely helped I initially got started with adaptive sports because that's my comfort zone, being an athlete, even since I was a kid. But how it specifically helped me for this soldier ride is, I would say, the mental health aspect. That's something that I did have some stigma with initially, as when I first entered the military and even through my deployments, mental health resources were not readily available the way they are now. So to be able to ask for help, receive the help, and then have Wounded Warrior Project kind of destigmatize that sense of, mental health being a challenge and, not make it so secret, that when you go on this ride, I think the mental aspect of, doing that many hours on a bike for consecutive days, it's really kind of given an additional layer to, mental health resiliency.
Meghan, this is your specialty when it comes to physical activity with long-term physical and mental wellness for warriors in their years after military service. Obviously, extremely important, the work that you're doing.
Absolutely. Physical health and wellness is a big part of a service member's life. It's a part of the job. It creates structure and discipline and routine. And while in service, you're doing so with your unit, with your brothers and sisters at arms. And transitioning out of the military can create many challenges. Suddenly that structure is stripped away. And through Wounded Warrior Project programs and services, we're creating opportunities to connect back with other warriors, with other veterans, and through programs like Soldier Ride, which is an adaptive sports, adaptive cycling opportunity, along with many other opportunities, we are creating healing through movement. We believe that healing starts with movement. We encourage all modalities of movement. Physical activity is a lifestyle tool that can be familiar, to veterans due to their service. However, we may need to help them restart that journey into health and wellness, and we may need to provide opportunities to introduce or reintroduce into sport, maybe through an adaptive option. So we're trying to encourage physical activity for veterans in the remaining parts of their life and through many different chapters of life and whatever obstacles they face, whether physical, but also, as Kelly mentioned, there can be mental and emotional and spiritual challenges as well. And physical activity can help with that. It can help reduce stress. It can help improve sleep and reduce pain. And these are incredible opportunities to connect with one another and feel support in that encouraging environment.
This ride is really something special. The veterans will be traveling from the WWP headquarters to Jacksonville, Florida, to Firehouse 10 next to the 9/11 Memorial in New York City. A grueling ride. Who came up with this wonderful idea?
So Soldier Ride is one of many programs and services that we routinely offer at Wounded Warrior Project, and we have done so for many years. These multi-day events happen throughout the nation, but this year, to commemorate America 250, we wanted to do something special, something unique. And so really to honor America's birthday, as well as recognize the service and sacrifice that military members have made, we came up with the idea to have 80 warriors ride from Jacksonville to New York City, as you mentioned. We have 80 warriors total broken out into 4 different segments, 20 warriors within each segment. So each segment riding over 4 days, 250 miles total per segment. This is a way to put support into action. These warriors are showing up to connect with one another. They have different backgrounds and experiences. They're connecting with one another through the bonds of service, but we're also able to ride through these different communities to raise awareness for Wounded Warrior Project, for warriors that might be struggling or continue to need our services, or those that maybe have not asked for help yet, and provide that encouragement for them to do so. But also in riding through these communities, we're connecting with America. It really means a lot for community members to simply cheer people along. It really builds their resilience and pride, and that welcome home that they may or may not have received initially in leaving their service.
I love the final stop of this. Kelly, you've won multiple medals at the World Championships, competed in multiple Paralympic Games, and member of the Team USA Triathlon. I understand your biggest motivator, though, is your daughter, Jaden. Tell us about her.
Yeah, so my daughter, Jaden, she's actually going to be turning 18 in a few months. She has been an incredible inspiration for me. When I was first diagnosed, she was roughly the age of 4. So she doesn't really know mom other than, leg issues or no leg. So this is very accepting of her. She understands that, there's significant challenges that like I've gone through. She's witnessed those. But I think for me is being able to show her that like I've not quit. I've not quit on her. I've not quit on me. And that's something that I'm incredibly proud of, because I just want her to be incredibly proud of me. I think she is, I hope she is, but she's also a teenager, so I don't know. But I do know that we have an amazing relationship, and I am so grateful for Wounded Warrior Project and the many organizations and other veterans that have encouraged me along the way so that I can still be an active part of her life.
She knows what an inspiration you are to others, doesn't she?
I'd like to tell you yes, but again, sometimes I don't get quite the honest answers. It's usually like, Mom.
I get it. Meghan, how can we find out more information about this wonderful event?
To find out more information about Wounded Warrior Project or Soldier Ride 250, you can visit our website, woundedwarriorproject.org.
This ride, once again, will be taking place, a special one at that, celebrating America's 250th, and it will be going from Jacksonville, Florida, all the way up to wonderful spot, 9/11 Memorial in New York City. And it will be taking place, the cycling journey, from May 14th to the 29th. Kelly and Meghan, thank you so much for everything you're doing. We appreciate it, and good luck with this event.
Thank you.
Thank you.